Hi learners! This is the second topic of Unit 3. In this topic, we will be discussing the next important step of the research process, that is sampling. This topic will be dealt with in 3 videos. The topic will familiarize you with the basic concepts of sampling. We will be having a detailed discussion of various types of sampling. These types will be probability sampling techniques and non-probability sampling techniques. The topic will also familiarize you with the sample size determination. Sampling is a critical part of designing quantitative research. Sampling is the process of selecting the subjects or representative units from the population for the research study. As it is not possible to study entire population, so a part of the population is studied to get answers to research questions pertaining to that population. Now let's first have an idea of the basic terminology used in the concept of sampling. The first is population. Population can be defined as the aggregation of entire units or subjects in which the researcher is interested for the research study. The next is target population. Target population is the entire set of subjects on which the researcher wants to generalize findings of his research study. For example, if the researcher wants to study the online buying behavior of people, the target population can be all the persons in the population who buy those products online. The next is accessible population. This is the aggregation of subjects who conform to the designated criteria and are accessible for the study. The next is sampling. Now, sampling is the process of selecting the representative units from the population under study. The next concept is the sample. Sample can be defined as the subset of population. Sample is a representative unit of the target population. The next is sampling frame. This is the list of all the subjects or entities in the population from which the sample is drawn. For example, if a researcher wants to study the salesperson's selling behavior, the list of all the salespersons working in the selected company will be the sampling frame for the study. The next is sampling element. This is the most basic unit about which the information or data is collected. For example, online buyers, salespersons, etc. Now we will study the methods of sampling and sampling designs. As it is impossible to conduct a research study on the entire population, thus a sample is drawn from the population and the findings of the study are generalized on the population based on the results of the sample. Improper selection of the subjects can thus result in spurious findings. Thus, sampling methods should be chosen very wisely in order to prevent the sampling bias. Sampling bias is overrepresentation or underrepresentation of some segment of population in regard to the characteristics relevant to the research study. The researcher should always make efforts to minimize the sampling bias by choosing the most appropriate sampling technique. Sampling techniques are broadly classified into 2 types: the probability sampling techniques and the non-probability sampling techniques. These types will be discussed in detail in the next video. So in this video, we learnt about the basic terminology of sampling. Thank you.